Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, have you been watching the FIFA World Soccer matches, especially the women's? And it's exciting that women are coming up in the sporting world, and I really support soccer. Soccer is a world sport, not just an American or international sport. Here in Oakland, we've lost two of our three professional major league teams. We lost the Oakland Raiders to Las Vegas. We lost Warriors to across the bay in San Francisco, and soon we'll be losing the Oakland A's to Las Vegas, which is highly likely. And so that leaves Oakland and the Bay Area uh, wondering what's going to happen. And I've been following and watching uh, the soccer leagues coming up. As I remember, way back in the mid '80s, soccer was in all the Alameda schools, and there were a lot of soccer leagues throughout the Bay Area, which had a lot of participants from the kids. And I was watching small leagues form where there's 5 and 6, 7 year olds, playing soccer, and they're not attending the baseball games, they're not attending football games, and most likely not as likely to be going to the Warriors games. So soccer is a big sport. It's a huge sport worldwide. It has the largest audience, far bigger, far superior to any American sport that is played here. That includes baseball, that includes football, and that includes basketball. So the the audience worldwide is bigger than all three of those sporting events combined, and the fans are fanatic about their teams, and so that's what gives Oakland and the Bay Area an opportunity to come into the future. And I say the future is because the future is looking like soccer. Soccer is huge, and then there's women's league, there's men's leagues, and some huge names in soccer like Messi uh, going to a national team and being paid all those millions of dollars. So it's uh, the and there's one player that um, he doesn't want to go to play for the Saudis, but they're trying to pay him 1 billion $1 billion for his services to play on that team because he is that good. So this is a big opportunity for Oakland, and they should jump on it. And as soon as the A's leave, they should consider opening the Oakland Coliseum field to soccer leagues and having soccer as a sports mainstay, because we have a very international uh, population here in Oakland and the Bay Area. So it would behoove Oakland to bring back a sports team, two sports teams, one men's, one women's league, and play back to back. And this affords opportunities and still keeps Oakland in the sports limelight. And that's important, keeping that sports tourists open. And that helps with our hotels, our restaurants. We have a good restaurant scene here in Oakland for the most part. We have some great food. Oakland has a lot of foodies here, so that's one of the current mainstays right now is food. But that'll only go on for so long, and we Oakland needs sports. Oakland needs a major attraction to bring people to Oakland, because Oakland has such a bad rap right now. We're a very dangerous city. The residents don't feel safe, and they're making it known to the world. And so, who would want to come to Oakland when you've lost all your teams? You have nothing but rampant crime. You have out of control uh, housing prices, a very low threshold of quality of life because of all the criminals and crime that's happening uh, throughout, not only here in Oakland, but all over the Bay Area. But Oakland seems to be getting more than its share of media coverage for all the crimes that are happening, the sideshows, the robberies. I mean, we're talking nearly 200% growth in crime just in the past year. Because right now we're sitting at 151% growth in crime just here in Oakland. And so uh, that's because you folks here in Oakland elected the worst mayor that Oakland will ever see, Shang Tao, because she shouldn't have been the mayor to begin with. And I know that because a lot of the candidates who filed literally right at the 5 o'clock deadline and who actually qualified said that Shang Tao was not processed, and she did not file her work until 6:30 on the day of the deadline. And so she was more than an hour and a half past that deadline. So she should not be our mayor. She is the least qualified and the least experienced. And she doesn't even deserve that raise, that $13,000 raise that the council authorized, because no mayor, no mayor going back to 2000 has done their job. We have rampant crime. We have homeless issues that are number one. Oakland is constantly mentioned, that in San Francisco, but Oakland is has more people living on the streets in San Francisco because San Francisco is actually doing something. Oakland is not. They're still providing only temporary housing. They're not fixing the housing situation. And so there's still a lot of problems here in Oakland. But soccer would be uh, a good positive for the city, landing some new pro sports teams, and then also landing the smaller Division One and Division Two teams, because those are going to also uh, need somewhere to play, and they have an audience. And so these are things that our city leaders really need to take into consideration. I saw this coming, like I said, way back in the 80s, because I saw a lot of the local kids. They were really into it. Even my nieces, I have three nieces, and one of my nieces, she played in junior high and also senior high school uh, in soccer. And in fact, she was so good. Uh, well, she was so good, she actually went to kick a ball and actually ended up breaking an opponent's leg. So these ladies, these girls, they play hard or harder than the men. And so I really support you ladies and the women of soccer. And I really want to see you become successful and get the pay that you truly deserve. Uh, let's see. And so one of the new teams that is real exciting. One of the owners, uh, Brandy Chastain, from uh, World Cup, and she's one of the club owners for Bay FC Field Football Club, women's football club. So soccer is real important uh, for the balance of everything, and to show that the ladies and the girls can play just as hard and just as competitively as the men. Soccer has the highest viewership worldwide, far better and far bigger than football, baseball, and basketball. And so that's why we need to look at um, getting uh, anchoring these new teams here in the Bay Area. And the chances of getting a football team back, a National Football League team back, is pretty slim. They don't do a lot of expansions. Oakland A's are pretty much done for as far as everything is concerned, because Oakland has no financial plan. Even though Shane Tao keeps saying that she has the financial plan, no, she doesn't, because that is an EIFD, Enhanced Infrastructure Funding, um, funding, forget, but EIFD, and she does not have that in place. How do I know? Because EIFDs are run in cooperation with the county, and in this case, it's Alameda County. And Alameda County and Oakland leaders have been at odds with each other since Mount Davis back in the 90s, when they brought back the stupid Oakland Raiders back then from Los Angeles. And they did everything, and even sold out the Oakland residents down the and put our asses on the hook for $125 million for Mount Davis, which was a terrible investment. And it ruined, literally ruined, the Oakland Coliseum for the future. And Oakland residents are still stuck for the bill. And that's the sad part. And so we need to find a good use for the Oakland Coliseum, because after the 2024 MLB season, which is next year, the Coliseum won't have an anchor team anymore. And so it's important that Oakland entertains and draws in the soccer people, the soccer teams that Oakland needs for its future survival as a relevant city still. So I don't know. Our leaders, unfortunately, in Alameda County are still stuck on themselves and their messed up attitudes. Shane Tao is going to go down as one of the worst mayors of Oakland, even worse than Mayor Libby Shaft. And by the way, Mayor Libby Shaft's, her political career is over. She has no political career. In fact, all she's doing is teaching women how to get into politics, because that's all she could do. Nobody wants her. Her administration was so bad. Nobody wants her. Nobody wants to take her on. And it's awful. It's awful what we're seeing. And Mayor Shaft losing 2 of our 3 teams. Shane Tao, she's throwing empty hooks at the Oakland A's management and team, and the A's are pretty much just history, and we got to bring soccer in. So Oakland, you need to entertain the new Oakland Roots for the men. Start talking about giving them the field, the Oakland Coliseum field, so that they don't have to build that new long-term temporary stadium on the former Malibu Grand Prix castle site at the end of the parking lot on Coliseum Way. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.